Hey everybody, it's Jeff. It's time to get started on the GMC Hobby Boss kit. Um, I've got the sprues labeled, cleaned and labeled, and I've got a few preliminary things I want to go through with you, and we'll get into the build. So let's go down to the bench, and I'll show you what's going on. Okay? Thanks a lot. I'll be right back. I've got the sprues all labeled. I washed them last night and I put a label on each one to make it easier to find. I didn't label the ones that have multiples because I'll just keep them all together. But that lets me find them a whole lot easier. I've also labeled some boxes so when I put parts together I'll have a place to store them so that there's no chance of losing them or getting them mixed up with something else that I've got going on. I've got all the decals, photo etch, polycaps and stuff like that in this one. Okay, these are real handy. They're recycled food containers. They were free. They came with sliced ham, sliced turkey, that kind of stuff in them from the store. Rather than throwing the containers away, I just wash them out and save them. So I've got a couple more here ready to go for when I need to put parts in them. Next thing is talking about paint. I'm planning on using the Mr. Color paints for this build. So I've got the color guide. Let me pull it up here. I put it in my scanner and I scanned a copy into my computer just so I can refer to it on screen. But here it is right here. It's real nice when you can scan it and then blow it up, and makes it a whole lot easier to read and see the details of what they want you to do. So we've got 8 paints that are on the color guide. First one is olive drab, Mr. Color 304. Okay, so I've got 3 of those in stock, and I'll be putting those in my box here, keep them all together for the build. Next one is steel, number 28. Let's pull this down just a little bit. Here we go. Number 28. Okay. Might take more than one box to hold the paint. 137. Tire black. Okay. Clear orange, number 49. Silver, number 8. Clear red, number 47. Copper, number 10. Okay. Black, a gloss black, number 2. In khaki, number 55. Okay, so there's the paints that are in the call out. As far as I know, this is all we'll need. So I've got those all organized and together, ready to go. Okay, so keep them all nice and together, so when I need them I know where they're at. There's my decals and so forth. So I've got one empty box here to use for whatever I need. Plus I've got lots of empty boxes. I can go ahead and get more if I need them. Okay, let me pull my instructions up here on the screen. The first thing I really want to do is some of the parts that are going to have seams. Okay, wheels. I'm sure they're going to have, to have some work. This is the D sprue, and then we've got a couple more on the C sprue. Okay, let me grab my things here. I have a drawer that I keep a lot of my things that I use every day in it. Keeps it real handy. And here's my sprue cutters right there. So let's just go through. These are, they're keyed. They got little pegs and so forth in them. Let's go ahead and clip all those out, and we'll see if we need to do any more work on them before we can just put them together. Prefer to put them together and then clean up the connecting points if I can. Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's see how they go together. Not bad. Doesn't look like we're going to have too much of a seam, but I'm not going to even bother cutting those off until I get them glued. Okay. Yeah, okay, let me grab my glue. Okay, and let's see, let's grab this. We'll just put them in here to line them up. Well, we don't need all those. See how that does. Yeah, that ought to line them up pretty good. Okay. This is not Tamiya Extra Thin. It works just the same as Tamiya Extra Thin, but this is Tamiya airbrush cleaner. Okay, it's 1/4 the cost of Extra Thin. It works just as good, and you can get it in a lot bigger bottle, and I prefer it. It's cheaper and it works just the same. Let's go ahead and get some of this stuff glued together. I went ahead and cut out the spares too. And I've glued them all together now. They look like pretty good tires. I don't think there's going to be any problem with the seam, although we'll see when I start sanding. I went around the edge again with some glue, and then I squeezed them really good, trying to make sure there was no dry spots or anything. So there's our spares all ready, or our tires all glued up. I'm going to put these aside, and we're going to let them dry really well before I even attempt to do any cleanup or sanding. So let's go ahead and drop them in a box. Okay, those will be for working on later. And let's get started with the engine. Looks like everything for the engine is pretty much all on sprue A. Okay. We've got A25 and A26 here. A30. Okay, those are the first part there. Blow this up. I'm very nearsighted. I can see up close really well, but I can't see any distance. Okay, A36. Nice little valve cover. A57. A15. A44. Okay, there's the pieces for the second step. A19. A29. And A29. A12. A10. Let's see, I'm off screen a little bit. And A20. That's for the third part. A23. It's like a little coil. A24. It's like an oil breather. And A21. Okay. Okay, next part, A43. A65. A27, just the fan. Just go ahead and take the whole thing and we'll trim it out. And then we've got some pieces for a cross member. So that'll go into the frame part. Okay, that's all the pieces for the engine. I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera here for a few minutes and clean these up off screen. You really don't want to watch me sand and clean all these parts, I'm sure. So I'll be back in just a little bit, okay? Thanks, guys. Here's the pieces for the engine all cleared up. I did find a little bit of a problem. Well, here's all the bits and pieces I removed. But on the instructions, let me pull it up here. It's not a big deal by any means, but I'll share it with you guys. This is supposed to be a 6-cylinder engine, okay? On this part here, I believe A21 is supposed to be the drive for the distributor. It's actually curved, which wouldn't be correct. It would be a straight shaft, but on the top there's no spark plug connecting points or coil connecting points, which A23 is the coil. Okay, but if you look really close, the next step here, if I can get it to come over here, it looks to me like a distributor cap on top of there. No part listed. If we go back to, let's see here, let me get it back where I want it. Part A22 looks like a distributor cap. It's not listed on the instructions, and I haven't found it anywhere else. I'm not 100% sure that's the correct part. But what is interesting is this is a 6-cylinder engine, and it only shows places for 5 spark plugs. I'm not going to put it on right now. I'm going to look at the instructions a little more and see if I can find it anyplace else in the instructions. But I thought that was kind of interesting, that this should be A21. Well, I'm not, okay. A21 looks like the drive for the distributor. And if you go over here, it looks like it's got a distributor cap on it, right below the coil. Okay, and where the spark plugs go, let's go back here. There's only places for 5 spark plugs, from what I can tell. One of them's actually got a hole already in it for another part to connect to. But I don't think I'm going to bother with spark plug wires. It would be too much trouble to redo everything to get 6 cylinders in there. Okay, first thing we need to do is put the 3 main parts of the engine together. So I'm going to set it on my white tack here, just so I don't have to hang on to it. Let's make sure everything fits. Sorry, I don't mean to be off camera. Looks pretty good. got a few seams, but I'm not sure. That's going to be back against the firewall. It probably won't show. Let's go ahead and get this together. I saw that Jason at Model Kit Stuff is thinking about building this too, and Nigel's modeling bench is looking for one. Whoops, sorry. Loud motorcycle. And I know Peter at Oddscale Modeling has one if he's got the time. He's got a pretty busy schedule. Okay, there's the first two pieces. Let's put it like so. And we'll put the oil pan on. Okay. Looks pretty good. I'll put just a little more glue right there and right there. Hold it for a second. Okay. Put this like so it'll be easier to work with. Let's move on to the second part here. We've got the valve cover to put on, just here, and it's keyed. I can see that, so that it goes on only one way. Okay. Just a touch more. I really like these old GMCs. I like the Chevys also. Let's see, A15 be on this side. Okay, fits just fine. Let the capillary action work. Okay, and A57. Go right there. Make sure it's straight up and down. And the timing chain cover, A44. Okay, that's for the second part. Let's move on to the third. Goes together real easy. These are the parts here. We've got A19, looks good. Got a little bit of an issue. The belt seems to be kind of cocked at an angle. Wondering if I should sand the back side of that down just a little bit where it sits flatter. Or pull that out just a little bit. I'll pull that pin out just a hair. That looks good. Make sure it's all nice and square. Okay. A12 is the intake. Make sure that's in all the way. Here we go. This should be a little straighter. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then got the horn. Okay. Okay, the horn does not really have a positive location. It sits on top of this little lump here. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. The horn's just kind of hanging there. It's not going to be in a real positive location. That's where it goes. Okay. Touch the sanding marks a little bit. Okay, and an air cleaner, like so. Okay. And we have the generator. I still see I got a little bit of a seam on there I'll have to take care of. Get this to all drop together. Come on. It's a matter of holding your mouth right. Getting the pin to go in all the way. There it goes. I felt it. And getting this together. All right. Okay, let's see, what do we got left? That's everything for that part. And on this side now, we have the distributor drive, which shouldn't be curved. Come on. And then we've got the coil, which goes right above it. And I still have some cleanup to do on that coil. Give me just a minute here. I thought I did a little better job. Where's my file? Just a small square file. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, that's gotta do it. I'll put the coil on. The coil doesn't have a real positive locating pin either. Can't really tell which is top and which is bottom. I think this is correct. Yes. Come on. That's where it goes if I've got enough glue to, yeah, keep it there. Okay, and the breather. Go here. I know, silence, I'm sorry. Just concentrating on what I'm doing. Okay, that's going to be all of that, and then we'll move on over. We've got the starter. Another keyed location. If I can get it to slip in there. Pieces are pretty delicate. Okay, and then this is a oil filter, I believe. Goes right there. Okay, and then we have the fan. This seems to lean in a little bit. I'm going to take that loose and sand the back of that just a tiny bit. Okay. Just doesn't quite seem to sit the way I think it should. Let's see now. Put the fan back on. Come on. Okay, I think that's going to be better. Generator to slip on. There we go. Oh yeah, that's much better. Belt actually sits pretty much straight up and down now. Okay, we'll put the fan back on. Okay, there's our engine, guys. I'm going to call that good for today. I'm going to do a little more looking at the instructions about that one part, what I think is a distributor cap, A22. And then we'll be back tomorrow and we'll start working on getting the frame. I'll take a couple pictures of this for you to see. And we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.